because we tend to capture the middle part of the trend, in the sense that once the trend accelerates, we get into it, and then we often see some reversals at the end, so we capture the meat of the trend. And that's why even when you look at trend following strategies compared to macro strategies, they have about a 50% correlation. Why? Because we're trading the same themes, we're getting in and out at different times, but the macro changes in the world are dictating our returns. Thus, we have a 50% correlation with macro trading. And so what I think this paper that you mentioned is really kind of getting at is, are there ways to characterize these changes in a related but more fundamental driven view with this ideology that trends occur and information takes time to distill and process, thus we underreact to changes in the macro environment, eventually figure them out, but the data takes time to kind of evolve for us to know what's happened. And so if you think about, something, they use things like CPI, GDP, other things in this paper, but think about the CPI as a simple example from 2022. If you had followed the CPI index as a trade, you would have been right too, right? You would have been in the same positions as us. I mean, you'd have to abstract from that CPI movement to what I should buy or sell, which is what they do in this paper to some degree. But you'd end up in the same positions, but by different means. And we're ending up there because we're just saying we don't know why this is happening. In fact, we don't care, but it turns out we're following the CPI. So what is interesting about those two approaches, they kind of end up in the same place some of the time. And it's really about large-scale changes in macro views and sort of fundamentals. But there's no question that fundamentals and slow reaction to them are playing a big part in any of the trends that we trade. So take cocoa as an example. That's not just a fluke. There's been some major supply chain issues in cocoa that have been unheard of. And so are we trading those positions based on what happened in the market? No, because we're following the price. But you could easily imagine a fundamental-based model that's following that economic trend based on supply that would get you in the same